sharing tips and strategies for elevating your business to the next level. Here's your host, Mike Saunders.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Influential Entrepreneurs. This is Mike Saunders, the Authority Positioning Coach. Today we have with us Susan Ibitz, who is a human behavior hacker. Susan, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me, Mike. How you doing?
Hey, doing really good. I love your title, Human Behavior Hacker, because we have all kinds of things like life hacker and funnel hacker, and I know we got all these little buzzwords, but I really want to dive into how we hack human behavior and how we can use that in our personal and professional lives. But before we jump in, give us a little thumbnail sketch of your background and what led you to this focus in your field, and we'll go from there.
Oh, my assistant actually have a way more cool name. He's Human Behavior Jedi. And
oh, yeah.
He started working with me and says, like, what is going to be my title? This one, like, are you kidding me? Like, no, Star Wars fan, so you're my Jedi. And now he loves it. Well, I'm going to make this long story short because I have told it before. I wanted to be an FBI profiler. I wanted to be Robert Kirshner, the one who interviewed all the serial killers. I want to be a badass woman. I'm going to be the best profiler in the world. This is going to happen. Long story short, I ended up finding when I was doing my degree on psychology that I'm dyslexic. It's not going to happen. So my dad sat me and says, honey, do you know how many ways you have to get to Italy? Like, no, Dad, how many? Flying, on train, or swimming. It looked like you're going to need to be swimming. So from that point in my life, 30 years ago, I started looking for all the experts on the world who has to do with behavior. So I looked for the best, and I fought until they took me as a civilian student in the case of hostage negotiator level 3 and international certified. I'm not working as a hostage negotiator for the police, but I do train hostage negotiators how to do and use behavioral and profile people based on the words they use, or if you have a mugshot, to determine how to talk to them, to the point that in October, I'm going to do the keynote speaking closing, the National Hostage Negotiation Conference in Texas, and it's going to be the first time a civilian do the closing. It's one of the biggest honors I have in my life because I don't even apply. Somebody else apply for me, and they call me like, guess what? You're the keynote speaking closing. Like, what?
Yeah, where did that come from?
Because I need to yell. Yeah, like I need to go yell, go back and forth on the stairs so I can lower my adrenaline and come back and talk to you. And the guy's still laughing. Okay, call me in 15 minutes.
Wow.
I study with Paul Ekman International in Manchester. I studied with Lena Cisco, hardcore interrogation. She was an interrogator in Guantanamo. I studied statement analysis, face reading, and now I'm on my way to do MBA. That is the way the Secret Service determine how you make decisions only for seeing how your body reacts. And I've been doing this. People call it science. People call it hacking, witchcraft. I don't care. Whatever you feel comfortable, call me for. I'm going to do my job anyway.
Yep. Well, it sounds to me like your friends are always on the edge of their seat going, I don't know whether I can raise my eyebrow or smile or not because Susan's going to be interpreting something about that.
Actually, they're happy. My problem is my dating life, but my friends love me. Imagine that you have to close a deal or you need to hire a contractor. They send me the picture and says, who is going to be more detail-oriented, like the one who have the eyes near to the nose. So that person is going to be really well-oriented. So if you need to use a backlash, hire this person. Oh, this is my next date. What I should ask? Oh, it's not going to be compatible. Don't even waste your time. Oh, I need to go for a job interview. This is the person that I need to interview. Oh, I need to do a negotiation. Oh, I have friends who are lawyers and they have doubt about a statement and how to prep somebody for a trial. That I do that for a living too. So actually, it wasn't convenient to tell my friends what I do for a living because I'm a free consultant on the weekends.
You got it. So now what business applications can be pulled from some of the tips that you teach on? And where I'm thinking there is maybe even in the sales world or strategic alliances and partnerships where maybe to be more effective and most effective, if you're picking up on things that the other party is exhibiting, then that could help you out, or you can be thinking of things in your own body language and voice inflections to make sure that you come across as trustworthy.
You know what? You mentioned sales. We have a new sales team, and they come in with a sales mentality. I've been training sales reps for 20-something years, but I don't teach you how to sell. I take you to the next level. I take you to the PhD of selling, because believe it or not, for more than 1,000 MBAs on United States, only 16 teach you something related to sell, but not how to sell. That training coming with you. With the company. So what I teach is human behavior. And I was talking with one of my clients and says, okay, I have this crazy guy working with me now, and he asked me what are the appeal, then what the pain I fix. So I start asking my clients why you hire me, what I fix in your company. And one of them gave me something that blew my mind, and I was doing that for a long time without knowing, and says, it usually takes my sales team 90 days to create rapport. Now they can do it in 90 seconds. I grow my income 12% since you did the training in January. My sales rep can have more clients, more closing, more commission, and everybody's happier. Because now, even in a video call, even in a call and an email, people can detect how you intake information, how you process information, and how I need to sell you. Not what I want to sell you. Finally, what do you need? And I have customers giving me referrals. Why? Because a good sell is not when you sell what you want. It's when you give the customer what they want and what they need based on their needs, tangible or intangible. So if you have a customer a month later, when you call them back, more salespeople is afraid to call the old customers. And like, how you doing? How is the product? Do you need any upgrade? You need any help? Like, no, I really didn't know that I needed this product until you sell it to me. And that is the best sell of your life.
Yeah.
Because you know what is going to happen? The next time that you know somebody who have the same problem is going to come back to you. But if that person a month later or a minute later after signing the check realizes not what they need or what they want, that is a storm waiting to happen. So what I teach salespeople, realtors, lawyers, and everybody who needs to have a better communication is to have the power to become humans again. So I can understand it doesn't matter what I'm selling to you. The end user is a person who needs a problem to be fixed.
Yeah.
So if I know, for example, that you're visual, I'm not going to explain to you in any aspect all the things verbally that you need. I need to show you. But if I don't have any way to know you before I do a presentation, I teach you a way to use visual words, audio words, and kinetic words. For example, Mike, I hear that you have a problem. I want to show you how it felt to process or use this product. I use audio, I hear you, I can see, you can feel how this product works. So
because you don't know right off the bat whether that person is auditory and needs to be told, spoken to with those, now can you just, hear how this would, but the point is, if you knew that someone was visual, you're going to use visual type languaging. If you knew they were kinesthetic, you're going to say, just imagine if you're feeling the power of. But if you can at least use little bits of each one of those, then it's going to resonate with them until you can ascertain which they are, right?
Yeah. How many times somebody tells you in a company, you know what, I'm not the right person to talk about it. I'm going to submit it to my boss. And they don't say a name. And you're like, how I get the name? How I know who I'm talking to? So I teach you how to profile people even though you don't know who you're going to be profiling. Another thing I always say, it happened to me, then I found out that somebody has been training with me in another company for the way they send the emails. If I ask for something on an email, says, Dear Mike, see you later. Do you know how you need to reply to that person? Dear Susan, see you later.
Yes.
Because that is a way that I can fixate. Now, oh my God, we talk the same language. Even though for you and I, maybe, Mike, is something like, duh, it's obvious, you would be you would be amazed.
It's the little teeny things that tend to make the difference. And I find myself doing that frequently, what you just said. If someone, like I use the word, hey, I'll say, hey, Susan, in an email, hey, Susan, just wanted to let you know. But if someone emails me and says, hi, Mike, I've got a quick question, I will reply, hi, Susan, I just wanted to let you know. That's great, because you want to respond in kind. And it's kind of like some of the old, I don't know, sales training or whatever, where they teach you how to mimic or mirror or ape someone, where if they're kind of, using quicker language, then, like I use this example a lot, if you're from New York City and talk really fast and you're trying to sell someone from maybe the country or West Virginia, you better not be talking a mile a minute, because they're not going to follow you. You better slow down your language so that it resonates with their communication style.
It's funny because when I do the proposal, because, okay, let's be clear. What we do is not for everyone. Not everybody is ready to go to the Jedi dark side mind. Not because dark side because it's bad. It's because really this is like, we're talking about size of the brain. We're talking about interrogation. We're talking about exercising. We do elevator speech. I'm recording you on the phone. I'm recording you on video. I'm going with you personalized. And some people feel like they get broken. Well, the only way to fix a nose is to get broken and put it together. But when I do training on sales, realtor, whatever sales, you're always selling something. Your podcast, my service, everything. What I do, the first 2 hours, I show interrogations, real life interrogations. And people look at me like, I think we're in the wrong class. Like, no. If that person can make somebody confess that he killed someone, you can get information from your customers. That's how it needs to be done. So I made them see a 2-minute video in the beginning and says, what do you think this person is doing right in this interrogation? Well, like, let me tell you, this, and this. You need to reply people with the same word they use. It says, Mike, how you feeling? And you need to reply to me, I'm feeling good. How about you? Me, I'm doing great. So the best way to mirror someone on the phone is pick up some of the words, their keywords on that email or on the phone call, and reply to the people with the same. Mirroring physically can be dangerous if you're not well trained, like everything. You give me a stick car, and probably I'm going to end calling AAA in 15 minutes because I'm going to break it, because I don't know how to drive stick. So mirroring can be a really danger physically if you don't know how to do it, because you can make the other person feel like you're disrespectful, because we have done that exercise. And said, okay, I need you to have a simple conversation about your weekend and mirroring to each other. And says, how you feel? I feel like he's mocking me. Why? Because
well, have you ever heard of the people that tell you to mirror someone, like if they start scratching their chin, then you should do that, and if they lean back in their chair, you should do that? Well, there's a certain, I'm sure, a certain science to how to do that, because if you just do it right away, they feel like, what, you're mocking me, and then now all the communication breaks down.
If you don't know what you're mirroring, for example, there are 7, when we do sales, and again, I call sales to simplify the funnel of everything, even a lawyer is selling, because when you prep a person to be on a trial, you selling something. You picking the right juror, you preparing your client to know if he's telling you the truth, because most lawyers, they don't want to lose because they have the wrong client, and prepping the client to not make a mistake. But when you need to prep, it's like, you need to show people what is a micro-expression and what is the right body language. When people use glasses, for example, I use glasses. The reason I never take her off is because when you use glasses, you tend to pull your glasses up with your nose. So if I see you do that and says, oh, they told me I need to mirror in you, and I start pulling my nose or show contempt, and you think it's a smile and you do the same, people is gonna, the other person's brain is gonna start picking cues like, why you show this task? Why? Because even though you don't know, In 2009 was a study done by David Matsumoto, and I'm a geeky. I always look for studies because I think it's the only way to tell you this is proven. It's a reason why I'm teaching you. Did a study in kids who are born blind and kids who haven't been born blind. And he found out that when they lose, win, and they feel happy, they do the same micro expressions on the face and the same expressions on the body. Do you know what I mean? If you have been born blind, you didn't learn that from your parents because you never saw that. What happened is encoded. So even though you don't know what you're reading, it's reading. Give an example. They did a study where they make people feel fear with a T-shirt. They put the T-shirt on the back. I know it's disgusting, but it's to tell people how deep this go and how aware and careful you need to be who train your team. So they put these T-shirts and a Ziploc bag and make people smell the T-shirt. The T-shirts who were wearing by somebody who feels fear, they start feeling fear and they don't know why. Meaning that we can feel and smell fear the same way a dog, an animal, can feel it to you. So the same way we can read microexpression, the same way we can read body language. So if you're mirroring the wrong thing and you're expressing the wrong thing, the other person, even during a phone call or in a video call, now that everything that happened on a video can have that feeling. So you need to be really careful when you're mirroring. Only do it when you know what you're doing with that and what you want to conquer with that. Because you can only ruin a relationship that took you really long to build.
Yeah, and I would like to ask here, final question as we wrap up. If we are on a call or a video call, and maybe it's in a sales situation, or maybe as a networking strategic alliance, what is something that we should be aware of that that we should do or not do that maybe we're doing and we don't even realize it? Like whatever the case might be, I'm going to say maybe scratching my cheek really would give the impression of something, but I don't know I'm doing it because my cheek itches. So what is something that we can take away from this going, okay, when you're on your next call or video call, here's one thing that will really make sure that you're being seen as genuine and trustworthy?
I'm going to talk about the new reality because 3 months ago somebody tell you something different. Do you know that a handshake is equal to 3 hours of human interaction? And now it's like, holy cow, what is going to happen after this? We're going to be shaking hands. What I do in a video? Well, after 3 weeks of researching, we find out that the same hormones who happen when you're shaking hands and when you interact with others happen when you're smiling. So if you, for any reason, you start an event with a happy, natural smile, it's contagious, even through the video or the new networking. Even I can determine if you're really smiling and engaged on the call. For example, hey, Mike, how you doing? Hi, Mike, how you doing? Thank you for having me. It's a different. So when you're not in the mood to do networking in person, to talking to a client, talking with your team, or you wanted to go to the next video call or next phone call, is the simplest happy pill you're going to find. You're going to go to YouTube. You're going to find videos of bloopers, puppies, and cats. Actually, cats is number one. And that is going to release endorphins and adrenaline and oxytocin. And whatever happened after that, because you're in a happy place, you're going to show the happy place. Yep. So the new reality is we don't know if people is going to be shaking hands again. We have a 25% people who says it's agoraphobic. They're never going to leave their apartment again. Their life is going to happen in video. How we do that? Smiling. If I see someone smile, it's so contagious. They have done studies that a person started laughing uncontrollably on the subway, and everybody else ended up laughing and saying, I never felt so good. So if you meet someone, it's uncomfortable. Networking is painful. Doing cold calling is painful for both. Doing demos is painful for both. What about if I made it comfortable? If your partner wait for you at home with a smile, doesn't matter what happened in your day. You feel like, oh my God, it's so good to be home. If the person looked with you with a frown like, oh, I should have stopped on my friend's house before I came, or I should have called to know if I'm in trouble. So smile. The simple thing. Smile. And ask questions. if you're okay to shaking hands, you know what? It's a weird situation. You want to shake hands? It's okay with me, and always smile with it. You can win.
Well, it's like the old telemarketing sales statement or cliche: smile and dial. When you pick up that phone, you take a deep breath, you stand up, and you smile because they can hear that smile. And I know that you cannot audibly hear a smile, but really you might be able to, because if you are smiling, then even your voice inflections is more a positive. So I think that's a really good point that you bring up.
Actually, I was watching a video that a friend of mine sent me about her baby, because I have a team meeting before talking to you, and it's not that it was a bad meeting, but it was strong, and I was high in adrenaline, like, okay, I need to calm down. I need to have a podcast, and you deserve the best, and your audience deserves the best of you. So I was watching the video, and I was like literally cracking myself, laughing about the video, and I found myself on the reflection of the computer and saying hi with a complete smile.
Yeah.
And that's the way you need to do it.
Yep.
You need
Have
to
it be unconscious, subconscious, and just that's the way that you do it. So that is so awesome. Well, Susan, so great connecting with you. What is the best way that people can reach out, learn more? Because I have a feeling that we could have talked for about 3.5 more hours. So what's a great way people can learn from you, pick up some blog posts, books, podcasts, whatever that you offer on your website?
I have that feeling. I have that effect in people. I want to keep talking. I think the best way is you go to LinkedIn. That's where you can see everything that we do and we post. If it's not, you go to humanbehaviorallabs.com. This is our consulting company, and we have an e-learning platform that is the only one teaching human behavior online. And that is humanbehaviorhackerschool.com. And just this weekend, we are launching our first face reading. It's the first time in the history that face reading is taught online. It's how to profile someone only by a picture. So welcome to my world, people. Yep. It's going to be fun.
That's so awesome. Well, Susan, thank you so much for your time, and hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you, too.
You've been listening to Influential Entrepreneurs with Mike Saunders. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit www.influentialentrepreneurssradio.com.